Okay. How many people do we have online? Anybody?
8.
8. Let me see who those are real quick.
Nobody on the Zoom, but on the YouTube.
Oh, okay. 8 viewers?
Yeah.
All right. Is everybody ready then?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and call to order at 9:06. Then, Rona, you want to help us out with word of prayer this morning? Oh, thank you, Rona. Okay, approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Oh, hold on. Oh, discussion.
Motion by Rona. Is there a second? Second by Eugene. Discussion.
Teresa asked if we could add to this agenda. What was it, Teresa?
General welfare exclusion questions.
Yeah,
I don't know if Jasmine's on yet.
she wanted to add that because the
Just a
cutoff was
discussion.
cut off. She
Okay,
just
so
wanted
you
to
want
have
to put
it.
that under,
We can do it under TC items or something before executive, maybe.
all right. So, number 2, general welfare questions for tribal council items on the agenda.
Is there a resolution on
Yes.
it? Okay.
Okay, so Rona made a motion to approve the agenda, second by Eugene, and Teresa added on
Question.
exclusion questions for the payment that's gonna be going out. Anybody oppose? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried. All right, a reading of the minutes for November 2024, Tribal Council Orientation and Board and Committee Work Groups Assignment Meeting Minutes. Is there a motion for that?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Coley. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Eugene. Anybody oppose? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried. 600. All right, meeting minutes for November 4th, 2024, regular tribal council meeting minutes. Is there a motion for that?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Coley. Is there a second? Second by Rona. Anybody oppose? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried. Ratify 5 signatures, adopt resolution 2024, blood quantum corrections.
Motion to ratify.
Motion to ratify blood quantum corrections on 383U06532. Motion by Teresa.
Second.
Second by Eugene. Anybody oppose? Any abstentions? Hearing none. Motion carried. Okay, next resolution 2025 blood quantum corrections 383U06534. Is there a motion?
Motion ratified.
Motion by Eugene. Is there a second? Second by Rona. Any abstentions? Anybody oppose? Hearing none. Motion carried 600. Next one, number 3, resolution 2026 flood quantum corrections 383U05977. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Teresa. Or a second?
Second.
Second by Eugene. Any abstentions? Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion carried 600. Okay,
Number 4.
number 5,
On 4.
oh, number 4, excuse me about that. Resolution 2027 blood quantum correction 383U06518. Is there a motion?
Motion ratified.
Motion by Eugene,
A second.
second by Teresa. Any abstentions? Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. All right, number 5, ratify 5 signature, adopt resolution 2528, tribal enrollment applications 32.
Motion ratified.
Okay, motion ratified by Coley. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Eugene. Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carried 600. All right, new business. Boards and committees, Winnebago Hemp Commission advises, advertise until filled.
30 days or,
Until filled.
One advertisement on the Hemp Commission until filled.
I'll second.
Motion by Rona, second by Teresa. Anybody opposed?
What's the motion?
To advertise the one vacancy on the Hemp Commission until filled. Number 1, it's,
I thought we did that already.
they had a
No.
resignation. Somebody quit off of there.
Oh, okay.
We
So,
also have one application in here as well.
okay, so under new business, boards and committees, Winnebago Hemp Commission advertised until filled. Rona made a motion, second by Teresa. Anybody opposed? Any abstentions?
Wait a minute, hold on. So somebody applied here.
Yeah, that's farther down there, so you gotta make a motion when we reach that part in the agenda, and somebody would make a motion until that's filled. Unless you wanna do it now, then we're out of
So we're
order of the
filling?
agenda.
Oh, no,
Okay,
I just didn't want
Are
us
we-
to overlook
are we
that one
appointing?
application.
all right, so we'll go
So
into
are we-
discussion then.
I guess I'm confused on the agenda. I'm sorry, Isaac. I didn't realize they had applicants apply for these.
Because we
Okay,
already
So we're
advertised.
appointing.
all right, so
So
do you want to withdraw your motion that you made to advertise until filled? And then we'd go into discussion on this. You wanna do that?
We already did when I was still the secretary. We motioned to advertise it. That's why we have an applicant.
okay, we're backing up. Yes, I will remove my motion or my second so that we can fill the position.
So do you want to just go ahead and appoint them at this time, guys, council?
Yes, just because that's the way it's in here.
Yeah, in the
Otherwise,
packet.
All right, Rona, are you okay with withdrawing that? How would you like to proceed?
Change it to motion to appoint.
yeah.
Okay, so Teresa withdrew her motion and Rona withdrew her motion and she's making a new motion, right?
Yeah.
A motion to appoint, and it looks like council, there's applicants that have filled out the application, went through the process in order to be on the hemp commission. Who do you wish to put on there? Appointments.
Only one.
Okay,
Okay. And there,
okay. So Rona makes a motion to appoint Hannah Barrage on the hemp commission. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Lorelei.
Sorry about that, guys. I misunderstood.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried. Congratulations to Anna Barrage. You're on the hemp commission. All right, number 2.
It's probably the same thing on that one. Applicants.
Okay, so on the youth council, there's an applicant that says Ho-Chunk-Ni Chochichi Youth Council advertised until filled according to the agenda, but it looks like we do have,
That's incorrect. It should be appoint applicant.
Okay. So does I didn't even know the youth council was up and running.
Yeah, they're still trying to fill. I think there's a couple that they're still trying to fill.
Oh, okay. So, what do you guys want to do since there's
I'll make a motion to appoint Sierra Vargas to the Ho Chunk Youth Council.
okay, Lorelai's making a motion to appoint Sierra Vargas to the Ochunk Youth Council.
Second.
Second by Eugene. Anybody oppose? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried 6-0. I don't think two decorers can make the same motion though. No. All right,
Same with the last Bear Moon, it's
under new business boards and committees, Lost Bear Moon Committee, they have an advertisement until filled.
scratch that.
So scratching out advertisement until filled and going into appointing. Is there a motion to that effect that appointing somebody on the Lost Bear Moon Committee?
Make a motion to appoint Summer Snow to the last year from Power Committee.
Okay, Eugene Decor is making a motion to appoint Summer Snow to the Lost Bear Moon Powell Committee. Is there a second? Second by Rona Stiller. Is there any abstentions? Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion carried 6-0. Okay, so on Wildlife and Parks Commission.
No, that's,
No,
Oh,
this is still last Fairmont.
Okay.
Call.
So we
I'll
got
second.
two openings, okay. So Rona makes a motion to appoint Melody Parker,
Melanie.
Melanie. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Teresa. Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried. 6-0. Okay, last one for boards and committees is Wildlife and Parks Commission. Accept resignation and advertise. How would you like to proceed, council?
Accept the resignation.
Okay, so Eugene's making a motion to accept the resignation from the commissioner.
And are you, does it include advertising for 30 days?
I thought it was a separate motion.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, make a motion to accept the resignation and advertise for 30 days until filled.
Is there a second?
Second,
Second by Cole.
I have a comment too. Yeah.
Okay,
Even though I'm kind of against it, but it needs it. I say some of these boards and committees, they need tribal council attendance to make a quorum. We're trying to change those things. And this program might need tribal council appointees to make quorums if they're not able to have meetings. I know they've been having those problems.
okay.
Look at that maybe on the next CEO or whenever we can get a good CEO report going.
Did you say 30 days on that, Eugene?
30 days.
Okay, so Eugene made a motion to accept the resignation and to advertise for 30 days, second by Coley. Is there any abstentions? Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion carried 6-0. All right, moving on to under new business. Would be number 2, employee holiday party request for a special room rates. Is Lanell on? Do you see? No? All right, Rona makes a motion to table. Is there a second? Second by Eugene. Anybody opposed? Motion carried 6-0. All right, next up is number 3, planning department. And Brittany is here. this morning. Good morning, Britt.
Morning.
Slow down, Britt.
Oh, no,
Take a deep breath.
our office is cold, so I'm trying to warm it up and. It's morning. Good morning, everyone. So, got a couple resolutions here for you. BIA Forestry Fund for $38,668. This is just to do the removal and thinning of trees in the project areas and replant trees where the dead ones are. So we got funding from BIA for that.
Okay, so that motion or that resolution number is, help out, guys.
Is it 29? Because we did those
Yeah.
blood quantums last resolution.
What do you?
I would say 29. I never got a number from it.
29.
Okay, 25, 29 is there?
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 25-29 for the fiscal year 25 BIA Forest Development Fund.
Okay, Lorelei makes the motion to adopt the resolution 25, 29. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Teresa. Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried. All right, moving on to the number B, resolution Winnebago FY 25 Electronic Services Protection Order Court Pilot Program, ESPOC.
Eastbuck.
And that would be resolution 25
30.
30. Is there a motion to adopt that? Motion by Rona. Is there a second? Second by Eugene. Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, moving on to resolution of tribal employment, tribal enrollment project 24, FY 24.
So I did want to kind of talk about these two here. We were allocated $280,999 from BIA for FY 24 carryover funds, and we wanted all of that to go to enrollment. But in the midst of all that, BIA had mentioned to Nyla and somebody else, I can't remember off the top of my head, that we can no longer put salaries and fringe and carryover funds because it's not sustainable, the position could not go away because carryover funds are never really guaranteed. So we had to remove salary and fringe from the previous enrollment phase, and that did kind of lessen up the budget to where we only got the enrollment budget up to $231,208. We tried our best to talk with Moni about what she needed, and she was very conservative about certain funding to go towards it too. So we got it up to as much as, getting her certain equipment, card machines, all of that with that, and it still wasn't enough. So when I talked to Nyla, I asked her, I said, can we actually use some of these carryover funds to go towards the travel code project too? Because I've noticed that the travel code project has been depleted due to legal fees. And she said, yeah, you can just put in a separate resolution and scope of work for that. So that's why these two are two carryover funds for those.
Good one. You did the best you could.
But it gives us the full maximum.
Yeah, it gets,
carryover.
from my understanding, when I talked to Nyla, she said, yeah, you are allocated 280, but you're separating the two now, and that's why you just need to have a different scope of work for both of them, but we're still putting them all together into,
Okay.
yeah.
So how would the council like to proceed?
Motion to approve resolution 25. Yeah,
31.
31 tribal enrollment project fiscal year 24, an amount of $231,208.
Okay, is there a second?
So,
Second by Eugene. Any abstentions? Anybody opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, moving on to FY 24 carryover funds for tribal code development and
Motion to to approve resolution 2532, fiscal year 24 payroll funds to cover co-development and revision project phase 2 in the amount of $49,791.
Okay, Rona made a motion. Is there a second?
Second. Huge.
That didn't help, guys.
I know.
All right,
Coley?
okay. Anybody oppose? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried. All right. Thank you, guys.
Good job, planning.
You
Did you
guys.
hear that, Kellen? Good job.
Next up is WCHS resolution titled by Construction Project Agreement M&I. Almost thought that said Blacklog.
I know you
It
see
said
the words.
Backlog of essential
Monday, it's Monday.
maintenance and
Morning.
Good morning.
repairs. Okay, Dave, fill us in on what it is there.
I can do this one, Isaac. So
Okay.
this is a standard process that IHS requires. All of these projects were funded by them through that BMR project is what we call it. That's the backlog program that you were saying. And so in order for us to seek vendors and manage the projects on our own, they require a resolution. So there's 4 projects on there. They were all funded through that BMR program. And so we just need the council to approve that they allow us to manage the projects on our own.
Okay. And
Do we get construction tax out of that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Just wondering.
that's something that maybe we could ask about too,
Yeah,
because there is I believe there is a construction tax.
okay, I'll look
Right.
into that.
Yeah, so. And it's at 100%.
I'm glad you guys are laughing.
Resolution 25-133
Yep.
for Title V Construction Project Agreement, M&I backlog of essential maintenance, alteration, and repair projects.
All right, so Eugene makes a motion. Mark Lorelei out, 9:28. Is there a second? Second by Teresa. Any abstentions? Anybody oppose? Hearing none, motion carried 600. Okay.
500.
500.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, number 5 is WCHS overview master facility project.
That's
You'll have the presentation.
Yeah, yeah, I put it in the packet.
Oh, you already have it.
So this is the
Different?
the presentation, so that's the actual slides. This is my presentation on that, so some of it's duplicative, but some of
Okay.
it is,
Okay,
sorry.
thank you.
That's the one. Thank you all for seeing us this morning and fitting us into your busy schedules. Wanted to, forgive me, I guess, about 5 minutes of context as we talk about the master facility planning process. And so if we can go to the first slide. I want to talk about this as a system project. It's about health systems. Systems all around us, and a fun, approachable version of a system or example is a pickup truck. This particular pickup truck is a Ford Tremor. It goes 0 to 60 in about 4 seconds. Costs $110,000. It'll tow 11,000 pounds. It's a serious big-time truck. As a system, this truck is designed to achieve certain goals, certain outcomes. Let's go to the next slide. This is also a Ford pickup. This is a Ford Mustang. As a system, this system, while it's still a pickup, is designed to get 40 miles to the gallon in the city. Tows about 4,000 pounds and takes more than twice as long to get to 60 miles an hour. So it's another example of a system, goes by the same name, but it has a very different goal, a very different objective as a system. In other words, it's created to do something different. Next slide, please. Healthcare. If we look at the broad healthcare system in the United States, it is in fact a system. It wasn't centrally designed like these pickup trucks, but it's still a system, and it achieves certain outcomes. In the United States, some of those outcomes are some of the best acute care in the world. But it also has some of the worst outcomes when it comes to managing chronic illness and keeping people out of the hospital. And the costs are about twice any other country in the world. So the system, as it's designed right now, creates certain outcomes. So the next slide, please. So the question that we ask is, do you agree that if we want to significantly change our health outcomes, that we must significantly change the system that creates the outcomes? Does that make sense to everybody?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
For real. I still don't understand what you're calling advanced primary care when we do it in our diabetes program in the health department, and when the psychiatrist prescribes medications in the behavioral health. Those are advanced primary care. So why did your diagram come out in the past where you have the hospitals up here, it's all primary care, then you have the health department is just prevention? And I don't understand that.
Okay, and I appreciate that. How can I say this? Well, let's go to the next slide and let's talk about that. So,
Or I'm really straight up and honest Indian. I really am.
yeah.
Or is this conversation being driven by who controls the revenue that goes into the?
It's not about revenue.
Okay.
No, not at all.
All right.
No, this is about the system of healthcare and what the natural outcomes are of that system. And I really appreciate what you point out, which is, for example, that we have components of our system that we show work really well. So what we're talking about as a part of this vision to lead the nation in health for Indigenous people, in other words, to make the Winnebago people the healthiest Indigenous people in the country. It's another way of saying that. In order to accomplish that, we need to change the system as it exists today. Because the reality is we just had our 2024 community health assessment was done. And we see that unfortunately, our health outcomes are not amongst the best in the country, right? We die 20 years younger than the general population. Our smoking rates are higher, our chronic illness rates are higher, right? We have challenges. In order to change those, what we are suggesting is that we need to make changes to the system in order to change the outcomes.
But we're already doing that.
Well, we are doing that. And so what we're talking about this morning is designing a facility that supports a health-focused system as opposed to a sick-focused system. And so it does emphasize prevention and wellness and primary care as the primary tools that we have to prevent illness and manage chronic disease more effectively, and then continuing to invest as necessary to have outstanding, excellent acute care for our community. And so what we think about as an example, we have a lot of accomplishments. The next slide, please. We have a lot of accomplishments. So for example, the second bullet here is the diabetes programs have proven to be very effective. What we have failed to do in the past is scale the prevention programs like diabetes, or that's a chronic disease management primarily, but we failed to scale those to the level where there's enough of the activity going on to drop the rate of diabetes or the advancement of diabetes in our community. So what we're proposing is to design a facility that has the space and the funding, because I don't care if it's in the hospital, if it's in primary care, if it's in prevention and wellness, it doesn't matter to me. What matters is that we take the things that work, we collaborate with all the rest of the components of the health system, both your health system, the Winnebago Comprehensive Healthcare System, and the outside health
The
system.
12 Clans Unity Hospital System?
The 12, I love that, the 12 Clans Unity Hospital
Yes,
System.
yes. I'm not going to let you erase that.
And I have no desire nor intention to do so.
The people named that 12 Clans Unity Hospital.
Exactly.
And then we have the Public Health Department.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, the next slide, please. So this is yet another pickup truck. This one is specifically purpose-built to accomplish yet another goal, another outcome. What we want to do is create this system that is custom designed to accomplish our mission, which is to create and sustain health. So we want to do, the first bullet here is to take the good things we've done, like the diabetes program, we want to expand that. Well, that takes space and it takes staffing. So we want to bring those good things as an example to scale. We want to be purposeful in creating a system that is designed to accomplish our mission. The broader healthcare system in the United States creates a lot of wealth, does a terrible job managing chronic illness, as evidenced by the United States' abysmal health outcomes when compared to other advanced economies in the world. So we want this system to be designed differently than the current U.S. health system by prioritizing space and staffing and investment in the things that truly create and sustain health. We want to look more closely at the systems or the components and the linkages of the system. There's a tremendous amount of evidence that says if we can do a better job of managing transitions of care from acute to primary to prevention and back and forth, we're going to have better outcomes. And we're going to lower overall cost as well. We want to design the physical space to support these programmatic changes that are required. And we want to incorporate Winnebago cultural and healing practice into everything we do, the physical space, operations, and everything that we do. So along those lines, what we have here is, what you have on is these slides at a broad conceptual level. And the question at this point that we're asking is this the right direction for your health system to be moving? So in this first slide, for example, we basically want to bring the Whirling Thunder Wellness Program over into something that is twice the space. More room, more space, more staffing. We want to create additional wellness space and things that we haven't been able to do before. We want to, on this first slide, which is kind of the ground level view, we want to move all the administrative stuff off of the second floor, and we want to move that downstairs. So we have like a conference center, more offices, so that's public health, that's primary care, that's acute care, 12 Clans Unity Hospital, right? All of those functions, the administrative stuff goes downstairs. And the next slide, please.
I just wonder, where's the DDU building in this?
The DDU building is connected to it. We don't own it yet. We can't really, we have some ideas how we want to use that, but we don't have it yet. So that's not in these plans right now.
So where would this go? Because the DDU is right next to the,
It shows it on it.
where's the DDU?
It would be north of this.
Yeah, it's way up here.
Sorry. So yeah, so looking at this, This is the hallway connecting us to the DDU. So the DDU is up
Okay.
here. This is the parking lot that
Okay,
we will vacate because we're building a new fire EMS building. And so the
Okay.
EMS and CHR and MPO staff will not need this parking anymore. So we can then build this out.
where will the, GSA vehicles go?
They'll be over at the EMS fire. So this lot was designed to have those GSA
Oh,
vehicles.
so they're all gonna be over there?
Yeah.
So when they're gonna go drive, they gotta drive over there?
No, their offices will be over there. There'll be 24-hour staff over there. There's places for them. to
Oh, so
sleep.
the
And then there's a
ambulance,
secured-
I'm not ambulance, I
Yep.
mean, the
everything.
transportation drivers.
Yep,
Oh, they're
and-
all gonna be over there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
there's secured parking, because the GSA vehicles have to have secured parking, so we implemented that in over there too.
Oh,
So everything will roll out of that.
Okay,
And then this is what he's proposing here is the 2-story wellness center. That's that parking lot that they
Okay.
currently use.
okay. I got it now.
Good for asking
But
questions.
we got a plan though for that, DDU building when the area gets their program out of there.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
We were thinking about our dialysis.
We want to have dialysis up before that because it's probably going to take several years, right? So we want to get dialysis up before then.
Okay,
So it'll be on this campus.
okay.
So in this, again, at a high conceptual level, we continue to have wellness center. We want places for cultural activities, right? We want our community members to feel like this is a place that they come and do cultural activities, wellness activities, health promotion activities, all kinds of things. And then in the middle, that kind of purple area is expanded and designed for integration primary care. Each of us, I think we would agree, was born all put together in one package, right? The brain, the mouth, the rest of the body was all connected. We want the health system to reflect the way human beings actually are designed, which is all connected. And we want the services and systems to be seamless to our patients. So we think of this as kind of a medical mall, a primary care mall, behavioral health, primary medical care, dental care, specialty support. So the specialists that we have coming into the clinic, optometry, all of these services in your basically like a health medical mall. And then supporting services, the lab, radiology, pharmacy kind of in the middle, and acute care. So the emergency department on that far west side. And then on the next slide, we can see that upstairs, we continue to have primarily inpatient services, and we put dialysis up there, although just some initial conversations with some experts in dialysis, we might want to put that downstairs on the second floor or even down on the ground floor. So it will be there. Where it will be, we're not positive right now, because this is again at the broad conceptual level.
On your second floor here, when you're talking about dental, how big are you guys trying to expand dental into?
About 18 chairs from the 8 currently. We'll be adding 2 hygiene chairs, I hope January, February at the latest. We have the RFP out for contractors. The design work is done. And so that will close in December. So we're hoping, because it's a fairly finite project, that we can get that done in January. By February at the latest, we already have a handle on the hygienist to add. So, and the dentists are already starting to move their offices and the existing hygiene staff over into administration area, because we've moved out of there to make room for them, so you can still have a contiguous dental office anyways.
So Dave, I want to throw something in there just as a reminder to, but before it slips my mind, the elders and hearing aids. That's one of the things. So I know you're probably working on something, but just want to remind you that we need to, they're talking about how bulky the hearing aids are, and they're not fitted for their ear, I guess. So I don't know that process. Maybe it's like a custom molding to each individual, but maybe something that needs to be done. So what's happening is a lot of our elders, they're not wearing their hearing aids or their hearing devices because they're just uncomfortable. So maybe just
We don't currently have an audiologist And so all of the services for that is being referred out to specialists. And I just went through this process with my mom, and they do a custom fitting.
Okay. So is that, I guess, is that process kind of running smooth from your end, what you're hearing? The referrals and everything?
Yep.
Okay, and
And
then,
we are paying for both hearing aids too. I knew that was a
Okay.
question too in the past, but yeah, PRC is covering both hearing aids.
all right, and then the other thing is on the glasses. How are we doing on the glasses on the vision stuff? Do we have a person that's a doctor?
We have a new doctor who we're hiring. She's signed up and ready to go. She'll be starting in January.
Okay,
So we're very excited. We'll have a full-time, 4 days a week, plus we have 2 single days. So we'll have 6 days of 5 days of coverage. One day we'll have 2 people, but there will be somebody there full-time every day, which is, we haven't had that since I got here. So that was a team effort. We all reached out. We said, we got to make this happen. And we were very fortunate. And so she's really good too. High quality, good experience. She wants to work here. It's not like I have to take a job here. She wants to work here. So we're really excited about that.
that's good. I just kind of wanted to keep those things on the radar, so.
I think it's been 5 or 6 years since that program has been at the hospital for the hearing aids. So even one thing is, you don't want to get a Crico from Walmart compared to a nice Pioneer system put in our ears. So that's something that we need to improve on too.
Okay.
When those services do come about.
Yeah, we'll continue to work on it. I know in the past, there was a budget put aside every year where, because Medicare would only cover one hearing aid. And so then we would pay for the other one. So we'll continue to work on coverage for that and make sure everybody who needs those devices are getting what they need as opposed to just what can be afforded.
Okay,
And and I said too, when we talk about these outsiders come into our hospital, we have to learn to accept that because they're bringing in that revenue to help with this special. We need more revenue to help with this special, these better things for our tribal members. That's what helps. More revenue, and to get quality stuff for us.
We're committed.
who is it?
Hello.
He's not here.
Cece.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Chair then. Chairman, please.
Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a few things to interject. You talked about connectivity. Okay, well, where's the connectivity with the tribal membership? I don't believe that the tribal membership is aware of what's taking place down at the hospital. I've voiced my concern to a few tribal council members. We don't know what's going on over there. And when the tribe went and got the ARPA monies and COVID monies, the tribal council, the membership made sure to convey to you that we wanted to have participation in the planning. So sounds like the hospital is planning without the tribal membership, which they are there to serve. So there's no connectivity. Because certainly, I try my best to know what's going on, and with the hospital, we don't know what is going on down there. We just hear it tips and just a little bit from different membership that might hear something down there at the hospital. So, so I know that what I heard the last couple of meetings is that the monies that you have there, they're not, there isn't a date that it has to be spent on, like the ARP monies for the tribe. So, where is, and then this tribal health assessment? We don't know anything about that either. So they're assessing our health, and we don't even know how they're doing it, or who is included, and how they came to this conclusion. And I would tell you this, that the Ideas Project, you talk about how good it's working. I think that a lot of tribal membership will disagree with you. And so mine is, you know, they're making all these plans down there without us included, like, it's like Laura likes to bring up, which is true, the DIA, they're making plans without us. And so here we go again, and then the difference is, the hospital is under the one-day trial in Nebraska, the whole chunk of the people, but we're still excluded from this process. So I'd like to see this process stopped and include the Winnebago tribe. And are you saying you want to buy trucks? Is that what you're saying?
No, he's using them as an example. Just like as systems, like there's 3 different types of trucks. They're all basically the same truck, but each truck has a different system in there. And so on the, he
That's
just,
kind of a bad example.
so, the other thing too, CC, is that he just handed out, it's a master plan, discussion, and, there's one gonna be held at WCHS Spiritual Room on November 25th. There's one gonna be held, Wednesday, December 4th at the Senior Citizen Center from 12 to 2. And then there's another one Wednesday, December 4th at the Whirling Thunder from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'll take a picture of this and I'll send it to you, and then you could pass it around, and we'll get Garen to put this on the website.
Website.
Yeah, we were gonna do that. We're just trying to follow protocol. So we
Oh,
took
okay.
this to our board. David took it to some of our staff so far, some of our tribal member staff. Then we're bringing it here, and then we have this plan then to get feedback and input from the community.
Okay.
My understanding is this very, very rough, right? This is a very rough draft. This is just a quick concept thing. It's not, this is the final plan. This is what it's gonna be at anything right now.
It's exactly, it's a high-level conceptual design.
Yep.
Is it moving in the right direction?
And I wish that, you know, that you had said that in the beginning, so that way, you know, we would all understand what you're saying, because it sounds like, you know, this is what we're going to be doing. And as far as I'm concerned, because to me, it's like, you told the council a big story when we talked about, when they asked about EDU, over a year ago. And we said, oh, we're working on that. We're working with somebody, this next week, you and an awesome guy came, and that's Sarah McIntosh. You guys came to the council, you were, hot on EDU and not EDU, but, dialysis, because the council was talking to you about it, and all of a sudden, it's gonna be 2 years down the road when you guys said that it was gonna be, we're gonna get that soon. And I just thought, okay, well, what are you saying to the tribal council? Something that you just, you know, because they're asking right now. So we never hear the updates on the Winnebago health systems down there when you have these quarterly reports. So we're not even included in those when we should be. So that's on the tribal council there for us to be able to sign in and be a part of that conversation. So, anyway, I want to say thank you for allowing me to speak this morning.
Yep. Thank you, Stacy. We constantly need tribal membership input. That's kind of helps guide us, and that's helps us develop all this thing. So I don't take it in a negative way at all. I take it in a good way, that at least somebody's keeping their ear to the ground and stuff, and then kind of keeping an eye on those things. So CC, there is I handed that off to Christina. She's gonna put that on probably on the website, and then also we'll have it posted on the Facebook page.
Can I just, so we were waiting for today to happen to put this out, so the survey's not live yet. So
Okay,
we want to make sure we had this meeting with the council today, and
okay,
you guys gave us, you know, green flag to go ahead and go forward with this high-level conceptual plan. Then we wanted to, so hold on. I just don't want anybody to be discouraged. They go to scan that and fill out the survey and give feedback, and then it's not live yet, so.
Okay, did you ladies get that then? So don't put it out yet, I
Yeah.
guess, but,
I'll have Aaron McElroy, contact you both when we got it ready to go.
So these November 25th date is a solid goal
Yes,
for that?
Yes.
Okay, first one. Okay.
absolutely.
all right. So where do we leave off at? You're on the roof
I
now.
think this is just the third floor. It's largely unchanged. It'll have some updates probably and whatnot, but I mean, we want to leave the hospital beds there. I can't give you any timeframes, but we're in active conversations with St. Luke's and their chief medical officer so that when one of our relatives goes to the hospital for a surgery or a procedure or something, once they're out of acute care, they could then transfer them to our 12 Clans Unity Hospital. They could finish their hospital care here, and then they'll be connected into the broader health system of primary care, prevention, and wellness. We can manage the transition, make sure that their home setting is going to be the right for their most successful outcome. We have a little more latitude than they do to keep a relative for another day if that's the right thing to do for them. And we think that we can both use the hospital, the inpatient side, and improve the health of our relatives. So we don't want to do anything that diminishes our inpatient capacity right now. We'd started those conversations with Mercy as well, but then their CMO left, and so they're in a transition, and we're a little bit stalled there. But anyway, so we don't really want to reduce that at all.
So with your big master plan here, does that also have thoughts into like your water system? Right, in order for dialysis to be, it's gotta be the cleanest, purest water type of thing, and I know that
Absolutely.
once the tribe gets to that point, yeah, we know we'll have a better water system, but you guys will kind of have your own standalone at the hospital.
We will.
Okay.
No matter what the tribe does, anything would be good, right? But whatever the tribe does, we're going to have to process and deal with that water through a standalone, probably reverse osmosis system that'll be freestanding. And then the wastewater is actually quite caustic. It's both the inputs and the outcomes of that. You know, they both have to be managed well. And we're working candidly with the Omaha tribe because they've run a successful dialysis program and they've been very generous and helpful. But we're also working with an outside national organization who are experts and do dialysis all over the country. So we're trying to draw upon all the right sources to get the best dialysis program possible. But I think the nutshell, though, is we need to invest in primary care, prevention, and wellness. And that's the largest space. It's the largest cost, frankly. Because those are the things that will create and sustain health. And will have, we believe, over the long run, the greatest impact in creating and sustaining health, and that's accomplishing our mission.
I got a comment to that. Yeah, we do need that. We need it very, very much. We could have had it decades ago, and we go into this next 25 years of gaming, Indian gaming in our past 35 years. What we do with our profits, we could help. This tribe could help more with the dialysis. We could help more with our care for our people, facilities. The tribe needs to put money towards that ourselves. And instead, we've been pocketing our profits so that we can do better things with that, and to add law enforcement into with that. With my comment there, so I hope the tribe does do that. In this next decade, we see that more care for our people, assisted living, and that dialysis unit is up and running.
All right.
Any other feedback or thoughts?
I
Okay.
just want to say to the hospital, I'm 85 years old, I have a hearing aid, I have dentures, I have glasses, and I have good health, and I attribute most of that to the Winnebago Hospital. I just want to say that publicly, because there's probably other people like me that could say that too. I've always had a deep respect for what the hospital does.
Lorla.
I brought this up to you guys when we had our quarterly in July because we were working on renewing our self-governance for the year. And I asked you guys to approach that, asking for some set-aside slots for optometry and, what was the other one?
Vision.
Optometry and
Was it audiology or dental?
dental.
It was dental, I think.
Because our tribal members, they're 2 months out to get an appointment. And if you guys could have got those slots in the renewal of the self-governance compact, every day there would have been set aside slots for just Winnebago tribal members. I know that you guys say, well, they come in at 8 o'clock, they could get into dental. But even when they called optometry, they're still 2 months out. And then I'll tell you, you know, sometimes they see some people coming out of the pharmacy and here they can't even get into the vision. And these people don't even look like Indians. And they're looking at them. You know, I'm not saying that they're not Indian. I'm just saying that it causes the tribal members feel like this is our hospital, but we can't even get in the door. And the same with the audiology, but I'm glad to hear that they're being referred out so then they can get good care, you know, and they can get the level of hearing aids and fitted to what their needs are. I'm glad to hear that. But is there any way that this could be put out to, we got our communications department. Could any of this be put out to the members?
Or which one, the audiology?
Yeah, the audiology,
And our doctor for optometry starts in January, so we're still working with the 2 contractors right now.
yeah, but even letting people know that we're gonna have a full-time, 4-day-a-week optometrist
Okay.
here, the people would say, hey, all right. So that's what I think CC's talking about is this information so that the members know. I mean, with the high-tech IT systems we got nowadays, there's no reason why these little tidbits can't be put out. You know, the facts, so then people know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of our older people, some of them are really IT savvy. They get on the social media, not me. but I'm just bringing it up because I panicked because I seen a email that the dental clinic isn't going to be accepting any new patients until April of 2025. And I called right over there and Sharon was at a meeting out of town. So I talked to Lottie and she said, no, we're going to still serve our current patient load. It's just new people that come and want to get into our, you know, come into our system. That's who we're not. So they thought, oh, okay. So we got enough to cover who's already in our system. She said, yeah. And I said, oh, okay. So then I realized I didn't have to panic.
And as we've, you know, been working on responses, these things don't happen real fast, and I'm sorry for that. But as we've, you know, moved people around and made space to add these 2 dental chairs in the existing space that we have, we've prioritized hygiene for those, both because that's prevention, right? In dentistry, that's our prevention. And it's the longest backlog, right? That's the longest backlog. So this is the most demand and it's prevention oriented. So we prioritize for those 2 chairs hygiene.
Okay.
when the bigger expansion happens, we probably won't expand hygiene anymore unless frankly, we're not meeting the needs still. It'll be more of the dentistry will be expanded. And that's really the long-term answer, right? Is to expand your capacity to serve.
Okay.
We'll be more effective and more efficient and will better serve the community. But it just doesn't happen overnight. We looked at lots of options. We looked at bringing a trailer in. It's like a trailer with 4 chairs in it and, put it out in front of the hospital kind of a thing. And in the long run, we just decided this was a distraction and doing this thoughtfully and well was the right direction to go. But
Okay, thank you.
Let's go to the next slide, Christina. You got that master concept plan. I think it shows the roof. Kind of gives you a bigger overhead of the parking lot, but you guys are planning on taking out the whole EMS garage. The old
Yes.
EMS garage is gonna come out and redo the parking lot and everything.
yep. It will be necessary.
10:06.
I like it, so we'll just leave it at that.
All right. Is that all you had, Dave?
That's all we had. We just wanted to get it in front of you and get the feedback to make sure as we move forward into the community that our governing body, this body, have seen this and it's not a surprise. And any feedback you have is welcome. Any feedback anytime in this process obviously is welcome, because the next phase, if you will, is a gathering this feedback, is to then take that and go back with the architects and say, okay, we got to do the next level of detail, which is, what is going to go where exactly and how many rooms and how many stations and, how many square feet and how does it fit together, and all of that work will have to happen next. And, that'll be a pretty significant investment. So we want to make sure that we're moving in the right direction before we continue to invest in that greater detail.
I think the only thing that I see that's, and you kind of covered it by knocking out the old EMS building, but was you're gonna have some more parking. You're gonna need more parking. And so even off to the, it would be the, over by DDU, off to the north side, maybe that lot that goes up to the old domestic violence place or hen house or whatever it's called. Maybe that can be developed in, because it's kind of just wasted space now. It's just sitting there. Yeah, that blank lot, that could be fixed up there. So it kind of, that might be able to be where there's something, maybe it's just a carport or something that's developed, but that area. And I would strongly encourage you to continue to do outreach to the public, to the membership, and to reach out to a lot of the seniors.
Yep.
The younger people, the younger generation, they'll learn to live with it, but it's the older ones that we need to make it for them to be able to get around and be able to, where the signage is big and they understand it, and because you put all this new stuff in front of them, it's good, but at the same time they just want to get their stuff done and get home, and so I see that there's even an area in there for a drive-through pharmacist. I think that's something really neat. But what would you say, just shooting from the top of the, what do you think, how long this would take? How many years
About 2 years.
to do all of this?
Yeah.
You really think so?
When we we've put it out for hiring a construction manager, general contractor. So we'll hopefully today, my to-do list is long, but I will finish up. We'll have the final 3 to interview. And once we bring them on board, we'll get this much more precisely pinned down. But just in the RFP phase, I've had, because I said 12 to 18 months, and I've had a couple of them reach out and say, that's a lot.
To complete this whole thing?
Yeah, but so the feedback I got was you're looking at probably 2 years
That's still.
from when you start construction.
Okay. I'm just wondering how far out, because you're gonna have to get from taking out the old stuff, bringing in the new stuff, all of that. So
The other thing too is, we can't shut down.
yeah,
So we have to make sure that we do it in an organized way so that we can still continue services, whether we have to move them to a different area of the building or whatever the case may be. We're not that far yet in finding that out, but that's the other part of it too, is we can't just shut down.
Yeah, so 2 years, I would have said 3 at least if I thought 2 anyway, just to buy myself an extra year. Just to
It'll,
make
and it'll
sure.
be done in phases, right?
Yeah.
And again, we're just too early to say what those phases will be exactly, but as we do the more refined work, hopefully this winter, March, April, that kind of time frame, we'll have a better cost estimate and a better sense of the staging and timing and the total time.
Okay, that sounds good.
I got 95 cents on that.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
So we won't do that yet.
Okay, CC, you got a comment?
Yeah, well, it sounds like everything's already done.
There's
You
still,
already spent money on the architect, you're already gonna go forward with the contractor. It sounds like, our input as tribal membership is not even there. You're already done with building the buildings the way you want them without tribal input.
so the thing that, this is the first rough draft that they brought up to the council. This is the council's first time seeing this.
Where you're, okay, well, you're already going forward with the contractor.
With what contractor?
You just got done talking about RFP for a contractor.
That's down the road.
So, CC, if I may, it is best practice to bring your construction manager partner on board as soon as possible in the design process. By doing so, we will expedite the project and save money. So that is the best practice, to bring the construction manager in before it's designed, even as a part of that design process. So we're bringing them on at this stage purposefully so they can be a part of, just like we're going out and reaching out to the tribal council and to the community to get feedback now at this early stage so we don't make big mistakes.
So you still have to meet with the architect yet?
Well, we have met with the architect. They gave us this high-level conceptual drawing.
So there's still time for tribal membership input?
Absolutely, absolutely.
There were, I think about 50 meetings too, with staff during this, before they even came up with this design. They met with staff and said, what do you need? How much space do you need? What are your needs for this process as we move forward? And so that was not something just David or I came up with. They met with, and I can't remember who else they met with, but it was a long process to get to just this point. So we tried to take the staff's input and design it in the way that they needed for space and how they thought they could, best serve the people. So that was one, this just didn't come out of the,
Okay.
of the architect's heads.
So you still have those meetings to set up with the public then?
Yep.
All right. Okay,
Okay,
CC,
thank you.
so,
Thank you for explaining even more that we need to understand. And so, I appreciate, you taking time and explaining a little bit more that this is really a rough draft. And so tribal membership didn't agree with something. And so you would go forward and change that in your master plan, correct?
Correct.
That is correct.
So, okay, once again, I appreciate your time.
so make sure you go to one of those CC and put your input in there, so that way on behalf of some of the seniors that you visit with and get a chance with, and maybe we could even get another drawing that can be shared with the seniors that's a little bit bigger. There's probably going to be one, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
for the Senior
they're
Citizen Center.
preparing those.
Okay.
We're doing big, like those poster boards.
Oh, okay. All right, so that way they could walk through that. Show them. So, all right, is that all you had, Dave?
That is all, sir.
Okay, so there's no action needed behind this presentation, or you're just coming to show us that, or?
Just to get your feedback and make sure that we're all on the same page.
All right, so my 2 cents in the discussion is to make sure that you get feedback from the community, because the community is the ones that's gonna be cussing us up and wanting that change implemented to you guys.
You bet.
So it's a simple.
Plus, we have our upcoming quarterly next
do.
week. What day was that, Teresa?
It's the 27th.
Oh, yeah, 27th. You hear that, CC?
Yeah, and are those live? I thought they were live.
Yeah, they're open.
Which will be great. We're working hard on it.
Yep.
Good.
Okay, well, I attended one before and I never received any information on another one. So I usually, and Laura, you know this, I usually send an email asking for the
The
links.
link.
Yeah, and so I did do that again with Teresa, and Teresa did make sure that I did get a link to the WCHS next quarterly.
Good one.
So I appreciate
Yeah.
that. And I just want to say thank you, Teresa. And so I hope that that link is sent out to all tribal membership that try to get on or usually get on, so that we become more informed. And I want to say thank you to Isaac for always extending an invitation to come directly, physically to the tribal council meetings.
All right.
And thank you, Sharon and the CEO for explaining a little bit more about the process and where we are.
Thank you, CP.
And
Thank you. And we'll look forward to your continued feedback and inputs. So that's very important to us.
Wednesday, December 4th at the Senior Center, that's very good.
Yeah.
Take it right to them. Good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you,
Have a
Dave.
nice day.
Just keep an eye on them GSA vehicles. That's where they're not supposed to be. On work hours. And okay, do you guys want to do a 5-minute break here? We'll do we're gonna do a 5-minute break here. We got some other stuff that just came in, but it's just the 5 signature thing that forgot to be added.
Cut the mic so I can say
Yeah, we're ready. Even though my mic was hot that whole time.
Are we ready?
All right, we're ready, and we are joined here for the Get Out the Vote recap. What do you got?
Good morning, everyone. I'm just here to share the info for event we had for the Get Out the Vote. We had about 130 attendees. For our sponsors, we had Big Fire Law donate 500, Human Services 1,000, Little Priest Tribal College 300, Ho Chunk Inc. 1,000. And those funds basically covered the food that we had, and we went with Sweet Thanks. And then for the shirts, it was a total of $4,025. So I know there was a motion that was approved for that, so I'm just trying to get confirmation that you guys are covering that cost.
The motion was to allow you guys to solicit.
Oh,
That's what the
Thought it
motion
was-
was.
to pay for that.
Yeah, it's to solicit.
Okay, so the sponsorship that we gained, we're using that for the food part. We're just trying to figure out the shirts part.
So you guys are short then, according to,
Yeah.
and that would be in the amount of 4,000? All right, you guys gotta sell the rest of those shirts at Powell then.
Well, I think we gotta ask, the treasurer, see if we can squeeze any money out of anywhere to cover this. But I want to say thank you to the communications department. You guys did an excellent job. Worked really hard on this.
It was a good event.
And we turned out and voted, all of us that, we took it serious that our votes count. So, actually, did you find out, did we hear how many people actually voted in our precinct? Did we ever get a number?
I didn't
No.
hear anything.
Statistics came out, and I want to say it was a number over 1,000 for Winnebago specifically, but the county overall, of course, includes the Omaha tribe, so we have no control over that.
Yeah.
And then therefore, what happened in the county, because we had a brief discussion with Cynthia Lemire, and she had some of the hard numbers with that. The overall turnout was pretty solid, and I want to say it was, because she gave us the percentages of it, and they were very high. The one that was not was Walt Hill. So, but again, that's on the Omaha resident. I have no control over that. So.
All right,
That was a
Like
good
a
day.
success.
Yeah, and again, coming together in a limited amount of time. I wasn't here when Garrett and whoever else you guys made the request because T-shirts and then pushing to get out the vote effort happened and stuff like that. So I'm trying to recap this from the discussions we had afterwards. But yeah, the T-shirts came together. All of this happened in less than a week, and so everything was really good. Plus, we also had to switch food vendors because the original wasn't able to accommodate the request that was made. So.
Okay. Well, thank you guys very much. Is there a motion to that effect of what their shortage is?
You said there's nothing there.
So Rona's making a motion for $3,729 and 25 out of the donations budget. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Kenny. Is there any abstentions? Okay, none. Motion carried.
Okay.
0-0.
Then we have just two general updates. The Neola Walker lighting contest is going to be put together this week. The participant information, et cetera, will be put out publicly, so those that choose to light their yards, houses, et cetera, will know what they're actually going after. The solicitation that was approved back on October 7th has concluded, and we have, like a general, what's that, over 5,000, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a pretty considerable amount of money, and then of course, you know, the usual players in that, Winnebago, Little Priest Tribal College, Human Services, etc. They all do it, and others as well. And we'll put out the full list for you guys to review on that. And so that will continue to move forward, and then the date of judging, all that kind of stuff will be put out, of course, in December, but we'll get it out to the membership as soon as we can. And then, as what was also mentioned that date, the Winnebago Indian News is partnering with the Winnebago Gaming Development Corporation and the Wildlife and Parks Department to do the hat and glove event for kids. So all kids in between the ages of educare through 6th grade on Tuesday of next week, so that's November 26th, we will be giving away those items, and I do have a social media presentation. Can it come up, Christina? That you guys think that we'll put out here, so.
So there was, I got a comment after this.
There is volume too, but
No, I'm not looking forward to how cold it's gonna be. I'm an old lady. I can't hardly take that cold anymore.
I already got the chills.
The years we all will be together. In the face of love. Hang a shining star. One trouble with miles away.
It's cute.
so thank you, Chris. That's the social media announcement that we'll put out. We'll also be contacting the schools themselves, so Educare, the public school at St. Augustine's, and then asking their principals to let their kindergarten through 6th grade teachers know again on the day to announce to the kids to come down. We're doing it at the main entrance of Native Star and running basically in a circular cul-de-sac counterclockwise in order to affect traffic. I've already been in contact with Jason Lawrence, and he said that they will be able to participate and assist with traffic control. And it will begin at dismissal, because that's the day that schools get out for the Thanksgiving holiday. And I'm not sure yet, because I haven't been able to get a hold of anyone that knows at the school, if they're doing 1:30 or 3:30 as their standard dismissal, but it will begin at that point, so. Yeah.
So, it's good, that we're doing this. There's another deal, and I don't know if it's the same thing, but it was with the court and the Winnebago HCI fire department. We usually give those candy bags out. And so I don't know if this is the same.
It is not.
It's a different one?
This is
Okay.
ours.
All right. So it's good because then we're pushing more coats out too. That one
We're
is going to
doing
be a hat and glove
Hat and
thing.
glove, yes.
The one you guys are doing is coats?
No, hat
No,
and glove.
hat and glove?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna get a little bit of confusion. We'll just have to go strong on the advertisement of making sure, but there's we're gonna be doing that through the fire hall, and we almost kind of didn't do the little Christmas ribbon candy, peanut bags and stuff because we're kind of running into, it's becoming more complicated each year that we do it. We had to factor in the, children that are, allergic to peanuts.
Yeah.
And so that's always a big factor. And then what we've done in the past was we've driven the buses through the fire hall and right out the front door, in the back, and then right out the front. So we'll have to make sure that there's some strong advertisement that these are two separate events. I don't have all the details on the other one, but maybe we can, if you can, Brian, reach out to Tom Teasdale over there at Winnebago, and then just gather that information, because then we could probably even say, hey, this one's brought to you by this, and here's this one too. So there's second time. So hopefully everybody gets the stuff that they need, gloves and hats and stuff.
Well, they may not, I wasn't aware anyone else was even doing this, to be honest, Isaac, and so
Okay.
they may not even be on the same day. Ours is definitely on Tuesday of next week.
Yeah, I think ours is gonna be a little bit different of the day. Usually I have it on the last days of the Christmas break.
That is December 19th.
Yeah, so it'll be, maybe we can just advertise both of them or something too. But
Either way. But I wanted to let the council know, because everything is already on its way. We have the hat and gloves in possession. Most of the food stuff is also, because we're gonna be doing packaged peanuts as well as pieces of fruit and candy and whatever. Almost all of it is in our possession as well, including the bags that are gonna be put in. Manufacture of the bags is going to happen with the staff on the Monday prior. So Monday, 1 week from today, we'll be putting 600 bags together, because the total number of kids in all three of the schools is about 547, somewhere in that range. And we figured it's going to be a handful of it.
that was just from the educator to sixth grade.
Educare, St. Augustine's, and Winnebago Public School, at least 547.
Okay,
And
so
so we're doing 600.
so the number that we've gotten from the public school was the biggest one,
Yeah.
but we did it clear to the 12th.
Oh,
But we ended up with like 700 and something.
yeah, we didn't include anyone over 6th grade. So.
Yeah, so, but I think it's all good, you know, it benefits the kids, and a lot of times you see them early in the morning when it's cold out there, they're walking with their hands in their sleeves, you know.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons we didn't want to wait till December. So
Yeah,
that's-
so that's kind of one of the things. So if they lost their gloves in November, we'll get them in December.
And the other part of that too is this was a part of our previously approved annual budget, so there's no request to be made. I'm just letting you guys know
Okay.
what's happening, because you'll see it
There's something, a reminder when you, like, day before or whatever, if
a
you
week
can.
from today, Isaac.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you know how it gets. Some of us,
and then again, don't forget the Neola Walker lighting contest, which is entirely separate, will also be formulated and put together. That date will then be in December as well. So
Okay.
two very separate things.
that sounds good.
So, all right.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, communications.
And then Tyler, you have to circle back and just make sure that gets paid, the shirts get paid and stuff. So, yeah, so when the.
Work with Annabeth.
10s and 20s.
I'll make sure Bess knows.
Okay, all right. Okay, the next item we have in old business is ARPA drum project, and that is
That's mine.
Eugene.
All right, good morning, council. Just wanted to update you guys on this. I know that me and Teresa have been looking for that motion back in last year. Essentially, that was all actions necessary to finish the project, 2 years ago now, actually. That's what it feels like. But it's just real simple. It was not gonna get done. You know, I reached out to other projects and other divisions within the tribe, whether it was the communications, Renaissance, and everything, everywhere I went with it, it just felt like nobody wanted to touch it. Nobody wanted to help along with it. It can't get done within our own organization. So as you look through it, all I did, I included the proposal that was presented as part of the ARPA project. And then on the back page, in that email that is presents, it states how much money is left over. So there's still 81,400 left in that project to be spent. I would just ask and want to have a discussion about where we'd like to reallocate those funds. The project as it sits right now, 2 drum groups are actually completed it with videos made and everything. Those are still not posted on either the tribe's YouTubes or Angel Decora's YouTube, which it says in the project proposal that they're going to be posted. They're still not did that. And then the other part of it was those other 2 drum groups did get recorded, but those videos have not been created out from communications. So my request right now to everybody right now is just, we end the project as it is and reallocate the rest of the funds.
So is that a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to end the upper drum project and reallocate the funds totaling 81,400
To what?
to be determined. That's why I brought it up for discussion. I have some ideas, you know, I'd like to see it maybe go to the warming shelter. You know, if we're gonna do the warming shelter, if those ARPA funds can be used for that, that's why I wanted to bring it up for discussion. You know, I know YCIC is always short for things that they need, so I wish I think of the kids once we have. It's not often you have extra money laying around like that, but at the same time, like I said, I've tried with this project and it's just, there's too many cooks in the kitchen and too many opinions at it, so I'm just gonna say
Well, there's footage that was collected, so where's that footage?
on communications hard drives, they have it.
One of the ideas was to ask the school, their communication students, to get that footage and the recording, and as a class project, to finish it, so it's not lost, because those two drum groups sang and their songs, and we don't want to lose that. And they already got paid. So can we?
So right now we have a motion on the floor by Eugene to end the ARPA drum project. Is there a second? Then we can go back into
Did
discussion.
you move it?
I just made a motion.
I would make a
Motion to end the drum project and reallocate amount of $81,400.
Correct.
So you're seconding it?
Yeah.
Second by Kenny. Anybody oppose? Any abstentions? Discussion?
I want to know, because those drums got paid, so what they recorded and what was videoed is a property of the Winnebago tribe still. So when we're looking at reallocating, maybe we can put some money aside and pay a stipend to our students that work in that whole media place over at the school.
Because I even,
I'll have to find out if there's students that are in that class right now, or if they're currently doing that.
So we don't lose the footage we do have.
it won't be lost. It'll stay there, you know, until somebody's ready to touch it and mess with it and actually get it all situated and done, the final production piece of it. I even offered it to Renaissance with that. Remember that young gentleman came in here and he's got degrees and that stuff. They don't want it for whatever reason, and I can't answer that. You know, I offered it to him as well, to sort of have it go through over there, so that way it sits in those archives. You know, just I guess you could look at it like a resource, right, for everybody, because that's the way it's written in that proposal. If you read it, it's supposed to be a resource for everybody, but even them, they said no to it, which I thought was crazy. But, you know, and like I said, I'm trying to get some different ideas of where it could go if we want to finish that piece. Yeah, those two. Yeah, I'd like to see those done. But even the original ones that got done 2 years ago now, even those aren't public. Like nobody can access them.
Now, why is that? If we pay
We'd have
for
to
it?
ask Garen. It's in Garen's hands,
Well, that's the property of the Winnebago tribe.
but that's currently where it sits. So that's why. Just
Well, we'll get
letting
it
you
from
guys
him.
know. Just letting you guys know.
All right, so you each made a motion to end the drum project and reallocate the funds to an unknown source.
I mean, that's why I like to run that discussion about it, but yeah, if it passed, I guess.
Any abstentions? Anybody oppose? Motion carried 6-0. All right, so we'll probably have to bring that back up. Jasmine is on the line. There is rules and regs with that money.
Correct.
Jasmine, did you have any input before we move on to the next item, which would be an executive session? Okay, just checking. All right, council, it says tribal council items.
Was we gonna do that GWE question before we go into exec? Because Jasmine's on the phone. That Teresa asked.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gee, I have,
General welfare, yeah.
all right,
Go ahead, ask Teresa.
so you want to put that on, or was you trying to go into
That's
that?
on before exam.
Okay.
All that questions back with the email.
80,000 would be a hell of a feed for our community. During the holidays.
Jasmine, I'm just gonna go off that email that I sent you. I did receive a few phone calls through Facebook Messenger over the weekend where tribal members weren't able to upload their IDs and their application wouldn't go through. And that was all prior to the 15th. The reason they said was not everyone has Facebook, not everyone gets the Win News, not everyone trusts the internet. And they wondered if it was possible to do a paper application to still get their payment. And that's all pretty much their concern was, if they were just out of it or just if they can still apply.
We set the deadline to be the 15th, and I think that we need to stick to that 15th deadline. That's been the communication that's been put out since the beginning. And we've got to get the ACH ones processed this week, and then their payments going out on the 26th, and then the next week we're gonna work on the check ones that need to get processed. And those are getting picked up the 3rd and the 4th, so my personal opinion is that we had the deadline, we put it out there, and that we need to stick to it.
I know we were offering help to seniors that lived in town or were in nursing homes, but I'm just,
Yeah, every Wednesday, the senior center, they were filling out applications at the senior center in town.
How many haven't,
From when we started.
how many haven't done the application process so far?
I'll have to pull it, but the last I had looked is that we still had around like over 500 applications to review on our end. There's been a lot of people that are putting the wrong enrollment number in, and so that's what we're using to like pull up our ARPA number in the system. So once those get reviewed, then we'll have like the final idea of who haven't applied, but
Treasury report's Friday, huh? Okay. Get that number by Friday.
yeah, I can send it over.
that's all I had.
Okay.
All right, council, so that's all Teresa had.
All that and like to suspend the rules so we can add a ratify 5 signature that was brought to us.
Or it gets good when you suspend the rules.
Just for this ratification.
Oh, okay. I thought you said there's 81. No.
Oh.
All right, so Teresa makes a motion to suspend the rules. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Lorelei. Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried. Rules are suspended at 10:51. And it's to add
Ratify 5 signature.
a ratify 5 signature that came in. It was in reference of a emergency grant. Is there a motion to ratify the 5 signature emergency grant for RP?
Go move it.
Motion by Teresa. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Lorelei. Anybody oppose?
Oh,
Abstain.
2 abstentions, Eugene and Kenny. All right, so the count is Coleotti vote.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Lorelei, yes.
Yes.
Rona, yes.
Yes.
Teresa, yes. And Kenny and Eugene abstained. So motion carried. That would be
302.
302.
402.
Oh, 402.
Oh, sorry.
402. So 4 yeses, 0 no's, and 2 abstentions.
Forgot myself.
Not including yourself. Okay, was that it for that? For regular? Okay, the council will go, it says here on the agenda, 2 executive sessions, 2 items. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
Move it, Mr. Vice Chair.
Motion by Kenny, is there a second? Second by Rona. Anybody oppose? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion carried. We are in executive session, 10:53. We'll take 2 minutes to
We adjourn.
The motion to come out of executive session by Rona and Eugene at 11:52 a.m. Vote was 5-0-0. Motion to adjourn by Rona, second by Eugene at 11:53 a.m. Vote was 5-0-0.